Good afternoon, this is Gabriel Jackson, and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day, number 16, part 2, the prohibition to break a bone of the Pesach offering, using the Sefer Chinuch. A mitzvah day keeps us on its way, and here we go, we're in the middle of this mitzvah. The Chinuch illustrates this point with an example to the opposite extreme. Even if a person is entirely righteous, and his heart is straight and perfect, desirous of Torah and mitzvahs, even such a person could be led astray by way of his negative actions. If he were to constantly engage in false conduct, you may say, by way of example, that the king coerced him and appointed him to a wicked trade. Then in truth, if all his activity constantly and all day was in that trade, with the passing of time, he would eventually retreat from the righteousness of his heart to become an entirely wicked individual. For the matter is known and true that every man is affected in accordance with his actions, as we have stated. The Chinuch applies this principle to the statement of our sages. Therefore, based on this idea that a person is influenced by his actions, our sages of blessed memory have stated in Mishnah Makos, the Holy One, blessed is He, desired to confer merit upon Israel. Therefore, He gave them Torah and mitzvahs in abundance. This is to say that He gave us an abundance of Torah and mitzvahs so as to preoccupy all our thoughts through them, and that all of our activities should be focused on fulfilling them, so as to bestow goodness upon us in our ultimate end. For through the good actions in which we engage, we are affected to become good, and we thereby merit eternal life. Our sages of blessed memory have alluded to this when they stated in Menachos, anyone who has a mezuzah on his doorway, tzitzis on his garment, and tefillin on his head, assuredly will not sin. This is because they are constant mitzvahs, and he's affected by them constantly. The Chinuch now gives practical advice based on the above principle. Therefore, you should look carefully at what your occupation and activities are in terms of their spiritual effect, for you will be drawn after them, but you will not draw them. That is, your nature will not overcome your actions. Rather, your actions will influence your nature. Do not allow your evil inclination to assure you by telling you the following: since my heart is complete and perfect in belief in God, what loss is there if I occasionally enjoy the pleasures that life has to offer mankind, such as to loiter in the markets and streets, to mock with the scoffers, and to speak with unrestrained wit, and other such matters for which one would not be required to bring guilt or sin offerings for having done them? And as far as the concern that I will be drawn after the scoffers, I will counter. Why, I also have a heart like them. Why, I also have a heart like them? I'm not like them. My little finger is thicker than their loins, meaning I am more strong-willed than they. Why then will they draw me after them? The Chinuch warns that such arguments are a result of reckless overconfidence. No, my son, says the Chinuch, be wary of such company, lest you be ensnared in their net. Many have drunk based on this logic from the cup of their poison and suffered accordingly. But as for you, do not do so. Rather, save your soul. Wow, he's pretty strict here, pretty stark. Chinuch now turns his attention to the original question: why so many mitzvahs serve specifically as a remembrance of the miraculous exodus from Egypt? After you know this principle, it will no longer trouble you why there is an abundance of mitzvahs with regard to recalling the miracles performed for us by Hashem in Egypt. These mitzvahs are a greater pillar of our Torah, because by our engaging them extensively, we will be influenced toward the manner that they are intended to bring us to recall. As we have stated above, home stretch, folks, the laws of the mitzvahs include, for example, what the law is with regard to one who breaks a bone of the Pesach offering, even after the time is to be eaten. They include also the matter of what the law is regarding a bone that has a olive's volume of meat upon it, kazayas, and the law regarding cartilage and soft sinews that will eventually harden. These laws and the additional details of this mitzvah are elaborated in Tractate Pesachim. This mitzvah is applicable to both men and women in the time of the Beis Mikdash. May it be built speedily in our days. One who transgresses this prohibition and breaks a bone of Pesach that is Torah, pure, incurs Malchus lashes. Thanks for listening to your sponsor feature, Mitzvah 36-100 for the gold. See you tomorrow.